behind. But when my heart is open and my mind is clear, I know I can return to love. That's it, right? It's so simple. And our theme in the Center for Spiritual Living all this past month has been about that gentleness. And what a delight last Sunday to have Reverend Maggie here. And she invited us to do just that, to return to that place of gentleness and love. Be gentle with ourselves when we notice those old beliefs and old stories about lack, limitation, not enoughness that don't serve us, right? And it takes courage to recognize that storyteller that wants to hang on and tell the woe is me. And it takes courage then to begin to create a new success story, right? Our freedom is now, today. My freedom is now as I return to love. Say that with me. My freedom is now as I return to love. Again. My freedom is now as I return to love. And that's the top title that I have, Return to Love. Imagine that. I added that tag because I'm going to talk a lot today about imagination. Return to love, imagine that. The dictionary definition of imagine is to form a mental image or concept of, to suppose or assume. We all kind of know what that is. And author and political commentator Frank Lutz called the word imagine the most powerful word in the English language. John Lennon used it in 1971 on his album Imagine. What a beautiful song that was. And our founder Ernest Holmes said, I am guided by the same intelligence and inspired by the same imagination, which scatters the moonbeams across the waves and holds the forces of nature in its grasp. Sometimes Ernest Holmes can be so poetic. And other sometimes, if you're reading the textbook, it's hard to get through, right, Marianne? So the American writer and visionary Jean Houston had a great story about her growing up. She says, back when I was 8 years old, I was attending a school in Manhattan, New York, where they felt it was a good idea for students to meet some of the great elders of the time. One of those elders was Albert Einstein. And one day we trotted across the river, she said, over to Princeton University and to his house there. He had a lot of hair. And he was very sweet, she says. One of my smart alecky classmates said to him, Mr. Einstein, how can we get to be as smart as you? He said, read fairy tales, which made no sense to us at all. So another smart alecky kid said, Mr. Einstein, how can we be smarter than you? He said, read more fairy tales. We, of course, didn't fully understand him at the time, but what he was actually encouraging us to do was to nurture and grow our imaginations. He understood something that almost all highly creative and successful people do, that the imaginal realm is where most potent ideas, the ones that can change your life or change the world, are held. And the more you can nurture your imagination by diving into that imaginal realm, the more often that dive will inspire a stream of creativity when you come out on the surface. In just this way, as Einstein did, you, each of you, can tap into a well of greater possibilities for co-creation with the universe. And this state of co-creativity is where we tap into our quantum powers, our superpowers. Read more fairy tales. I've been reading novels again, just novels about whatever, like old times, and I am so excited by them. I just get really enhanced by those stories. Ernest Holmes also said, true imagination is not fanciful daydreaming. Hear that? It's fire from heaven. It's not wishful thinking. There's power in our imaginations. Return to love. Imagine that. Imagine if I returned to love. That's what my teacher used to always say. Just go, be curious. So, did you know, this is very interesting, scientists discovered it takes approximately 400 repetitions to create a new synapse in your brain. 400. You gotta do something a lot. Unless it is done in play, in which case it only takes 10 to 20 repetitions to create a new synapse. So if you want to learn something, sing about it, dance about it, play with it, make up a game about it, have fun with it. What a concept. Think about it. What if you started your day with a song? I love this day, even if you don't think you can sing, or you get up and you do a little something. What if you connected with your inner spirit of joy and love every morning? Imagine that. Imagine that. Because how many of us get up in the morning, creak. I know sometimes I do. In those in-between moments of, yes, the seriousness of life, because it is serious, we always can come back. Listen to some music that opens you up. Move your body. Connect to your inner spirit. Meditate with joy. We can only create as far as our imagination will go. I know our life can sometimes seem like it's mundane, right? But think of a mandala. Think of a mandala. This is Joy's beautiful book. A mandala can seem like the most intricate piece, beautiful piece of art. And yet it's just a series of simple shapes. A circle, a dot, a heart, some more dots, maybe another circle, maybe a heart. And over time, eventually, this beautiful masterpiece unravels. And you can experience that today. Joy brought her pages from her affirmation coloring book, and we're going to color afterwards if you'd like to stay. It's really a beautiful way to have fun and play. Come on, people. And I didn't forget about the raffle. We'll do that at the end. And this is one of the raffle prizes. Joy's book, and my book is in there too. So are you willing to remember how to play?
Yes.
Are you willing to open yourself to your natural spiritual nature of joy and fun?
Yes.
Yes.
This is the return to love. You can't be grumpy and loving at the same time. It's impossible. So if you're grumpy, go do something fun. Get out of it. Break it. You have the power to do that. You know, it's interesting. I've done a lot of training in shamanism over my life in different studies, in different schools. And in many shamanic traditions, if you came to a medicine person complaining of being disheartened, depressed, dispirited, they ask you one of 4 questions. When did you stop singing?
Stop what?
Singing. When did you stop dancing? When did you stop being enchanted by a story? When did you stop being comforted by the sweet territory of silence? Take a breath. I know we all get caught up in our lives. There's a lot going on. And yet allowing time for play pray is my occupation, my job title. But I also want to play. And I've been making a real effort to have times of fun and play. And balancing that in my life. Return to love. Because when we sing and dance and play, we're just liberating ourselves. Right? We have to feel it to heal it. So maybe there's an emotion that you're experiencing, a hurt that you haven't processed fully yet. And unless it's felt, you will not heal from it. We don't want to push it away. And there's safe ways to feel our emotions. How to move from our head to our heart, to our soul. You can work with a practitioner, a coach. I teach it through breath, sound, movement. Remember in the old days you had a pillow? And you would yell into the pillow, just scream and get your anger out. If you do something, if you release something for 30 seconds or less, a negative emotion, it will move through you and transmute into something else. But you have to move it. You have to move it and feel it. And then shake it off. Everybody go like this. Just shake your hands vigorously. Just shake it off. What you come in with today, you're tense about. Just shake it off. Come on, shake it off. You know what they say in Little League? When the kids are upset? Shake it off and play ball. It really helps just to shake it off. I do that all the time, sometimes driving. I'm like, shake it off. Return to love. So Einstein did say about imagination that imagination is more important than knowledge. Einstein said that. For knowledge is limited, whereas imagination embraces the entire world, stimulating progress and giving birth to evolution. So what if you practice repetition, seeing and imagining yourself as healthy or as successful in your job or in a loving relationship or prosperous? What if you imagine yourself as peaceful, whatever it is, and maybe do it in a playful way? And what if we imagine the world as prosperous, as peaceful, as loving? Just imagine it. Because your imagination is a force for creating good. It's the pearl of great price among all other functions of the mind. It gives form and outline to ideas. Imagination takes the concept or idea out of the realm of the nebulous, like wishful thinking, and it brings it into actual visualization. So I'm going to lead you through a process that I learned and teach from Raymond Charles Barker's book, The Power of Decision. Some of you took that class with me. So I'd like you to choose an area of your life that you would like to shift, change, create something different, a new idea about an issue that you're dealing with, be it in your health, be it in your relationships, be it in your financial world. Just pick one thing that you're going to focus on in this process. And I know we all have more than one, but just pick one. Okay? So if you have it, we're going to play with this in this process. So I invite you to close your eyes. Take a deep cleansing breath with me. Relax your shoulders. And just be present. Be present with whatever shows up. Making a mental image of yourself as health, success, love, prosperity, or peace is vital to either regain it or to maintain it. So you're going to use your imagination and picture yourself right now as a radiant, whole, vibrant being with whatever it is you've chosen to focus on. Use this imagination of yours to expand your consciousness of health, of success, of love, of prosperity. What does that mean to you? To be that? Why is that important to you? Perhaps you've never really imagined yourself as healthy. Perhaps you've never imagined yourself as being in love with someone. Perhaps you've never imagined yourself as successful at a job. Whatever you did in your mind, just imagine. Picture yourself. And using your imagination, put action into the picture also. What are you doing as that? What are you accomplishing as that successful, healthy, loving, peaceful person? Whatever you chose. What are you doing? Who are you with? What does it feel like? Use your imagination. Play with it. You don't have to know how, anything. You're just in it. And notice you're doing things with ease, with joy, with strength, with power. And as you visualize this for yourself, whatever that is, your health, your success, your love, your peace, don't include any present limitations you may have. Just make the picture perfect in every way. Make it new. It's brand new. See yourself happy, moving in the right direction, radiant, whole, satisfied. See yourself now as you were created to be. Take a breath. And erase any limitations. For a moment, forget yourself as you are right now and see and imagine yourself as the infinite knows you to be. Whole, complete, happy, prosperous, peaceful, successful, healthy. Such a picture, held in your mind for just these few moments, has great therapeutic power. You're in the quantum field. Feel it. See it. Be it. Oh, your subconscious mind welcomes this new picture, and because you have consciously created it, it is a directive to the subconscious field of creative action. Doing this visualization daily adds power to your decision to be healthy, to be successful, to be prosperous, to be peaceful, whatever you have. And as your practice of using your imagination this way becomes a regular repetition with play, it no longer enters your mind to picture yourself any other way. You are that. Picture yourself now as the truth of health, the truth of success, the truth of love, the truth of peace. If you keep this picture active in your imagination, freeing your subconscious from all fear and doubt, it must produce what you consistently image. It's called the law of correspondence, or mental equivalent. Take a deep breath. And open your eyes. So what's your new affirmation for yourself? Think about your affirmation. And on the count of 3, you're just going to say it out loud, whatever you came up with. I am health. I am love. I am love. We're just going to all say it out loud. 1, 2, 3. I am health. You didn't convince me. 1, 2, 3. I am health. Give yourself a hand. prosperity.
Thank you, God, in me for my prosperity.
Thank you, God, in me for peace in my life.
Thank you, God, in me for peace in my life.
Imagine that. Return to love. Return to peace. Imagine that. Return to prosperity. Imagine that. That's your lesson